So to win at the zero moment of truth, you need to first be visible. And that means you need to be there to answer the questions that your potential customers have about your brand, your service, your product at the moment that they ask it. So obviously we believe that this can happen on the search engine results page, and when people are looking for information in a search engine, for you to be there to answer the question. But some of the things we're seeing in changing search behavior is really important for the B2B marketer. The first thing is this notion of day parting. It was once believed that B2B decision makers were making their decisions between the hours of 9 and 5. So we saw some campaigns being slotted during only the traditional work hours. Yet what we're finding now is that 40% of business decision makers are doing their work-related searches outside of the hours of 9 to 5. It would make sense. This is the time they don't have meetings, they don't have other commitments during the work hours. So research is actually happening 24/7, and our always-on campaigns need to start reflecting that. Another key change in B2B is also the length of the query itself. We're seeing searchers become much more sophisticated, up to the point where now 7-term queries are actually not uncommon at all. And in fact, 2 to 3 terms still tends to be where the majority of searches happen, but 7 is actually equaling in that volume. So being very specific and knowing exactly what your customers are looking for and making sure that you are represented on those types of terms is increasingly more important. So winning at the moment of truth is also about persuasion. When you're talking about the search engine results page, you have 95 characters to get your message across. And more B2B marketers are taking advantage of search, and so we've seen the number of ads on the page increase 37% in the last year alone. So you need to be compelling and very persuasive to draw attention to your brand at that zero moment of truth. And one of the surprising trends that we saw when we were evaluating search query activity was the difference between green and sustainability. It was interesting to us because many of our customers are very active in promoting their green initiatives, what they're doing for the environment, what types of organizations they've partnered with, and so forth. Yet what we're learning is that the B2B researchers and the B2B purchase decision makers are less concerned about green today than they are actually about sustainability. And in some cases, the terms could be interchangeable, yet if you're talking to your customers about green, when really what they're interested in is sustainability, you're no longer going to win at that zero moment of truth. So knowing what your customers are interested in, talking to them in their language, and making sure that you're there at that zero moment of truth will allow you to win. The final way to win at the zero moment of truth is really about being flexible. One of the things that we prioritize at Google is speed beats perfection. It's not important to have your marketing plan perfect and completely established the moment that you begin your new year. In fact, it's better to have different strategies that you're employing that you can test, learn, and then iterate, so that way you can scale the successful solutions for your business in a better way. We've seen a lot of customers that have had issues with whether it's a PR crisis or an issue with their brand, a lot of activity about their company in the news. And if you have a marketing plan that doesn't allow you to be flexible and actually get in front of these stories, then you're not going to be able to let your voice be heard at the moment that your customers are looking into it. So in order to win at the zero moment of truth, you have to have a plan that will allow you to be flexible and ultimately react.